I'm James Quattro, and today we've got the 2023 Ford Expedition Stealth Performance Edition. If you can please like and subscribe, it really does help me and it'd be greatly appreciated. It helps me with some motivation to continue to make these videos as we continue to get more vehicles in. I got some pretty cool stuff coming down the pipe and I'd love to share it with you. So please hit that like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. This one here is the Stealth Performance Package. And I'm going to show you the difference between the Performance Package, the Standard Stealth, and what you're getting for either of those packages. But this one here happens to be the Performance. So what does that mean? Well, the Performance really starts under the hood. This one here has the 3.5 liter EcoBoost high output engine, which is the same engine that you're going to find in the Raptor. So a pretty substantial bump. It's got 440 horsepower, which is up 40 from the standard 3.5, and it's got 510 foot-pounds of torque, which is up 30 from the non-high output version of the 3.5 liter. Also, this one has the 373 gear ratio, which is available with or without the Performance Package. Without it, it does require the Max Trailer Tow Package, and that's how you can get that 373 rear end either way. Up front, we've got the black bezel headlights as well as the fog lights. And then you've also got this really nice 2-bar front end. On the front, it's got Expedition spelled out here as well as a black Ford logo. And that's what you're going to get on the front end of the vehicle in the Stealth and or the Performance Package. So all those things are wrapped up in both. Now on to the side of the vehicle. With the Stealth or the Stealth Performance Package, you are getting the 22-inch black wheels with the machine finish, which is really sharp. On the Performance Package, you are getting the red painted calipers, which is pretty cool. And then on either Stealth package, you also get a sport tuned suspension. Carrying it around on the side, you do have the black mirror caps here. Also, if you look at the running boards, which are power deployable running boards on all the limiteds, you get the black trim as well, which is only on the Stealth and the Stealth Performance Package. And then also up top, you've got the black roof rack side rails as well. And that's what you're going to get on the side profile of the Expedition. All right, now onto the back. In the back, you've got kind of the same old trend that we've been seeing all the way around. A lot of black badging. Like the Expedition here is blacked out. Black Ford logo here. The Limited on the back doors is blacked out, as well as the LED taillights with the black bezel. This one here does have the trailer tow package, so hidden behind this cover here is your tow hitch and your wiring. On the back of the Expedition, both the glass and the hatch open up. Open up the glass, you've got a button right here, which opens up the back. So if you needed to throw something in here, a bag of groceries, something like that, it goes in pretty easily just by opening the glass. Now this does have the power liftgate as well, so down underneath the license plate is the button to open up the rear liftgate. Now, not a whole lot to talk about in the back, but some things I do want to go over. Now the Expedition Performance and Stealth Performance are based off of the Limited platform. So you do have a power second and third row. So for third row, just hit it once and it comes up. Same thing with putting it back down. It also can be put up and down one at a time as well, not both at the same time. But with the seats up, you've still got a fair amount of space in the back. Also, you've got a little bit of storage under the floor here, as well as your roadside tools on the other side there. And again, to put it down, you just hit the button And as I mentioned, you can do both independent as well for the third row. Now, if you got to put something really big in here, a sheet of plywood, something like that, that can also be done from back here. One button, push, and it puts both of the center seats down as well. Unfortunately, it cannot bring them back up, but it does give you the ability to put them both down, and you can put them down left or right independent as well. So a little bit of a convenience factor to get them into the back seat. Also in the third row, you do get USB ports on both sides. So if you got kids in the third row that need to charge their devices, that's possible as well. All right, let's move on to the back seat. Now the third row is pretty cool. You've got the bucket seats back here with a nice armrest. They do have the red stitching as well as the perforated leather as well. To get into the third row, all you gotta do is just pull the shoulder and it tilts and slides. Now, I'm not a small guy by any stretch of the imagination, but I can get into the third row pretty comfortably. Lots of leg room back here. There is no armrest here, which is okay. It's plenty wide enough for 3 people, especially if you've got children back here. You have to keep in mind, the Expedition is essentially, now I call it like an F-150 station wagon, but it's based off the same platform as the F-150, so it's got the same width. So you're going to get quite a bit of width back here. As I mentioned in the back, you do have USBs in the back. You've got vents, map lights. Extremely comfortable back here, even for an adult. If you've got 6 adults especially, I mean, without a doubt, it'd be no problem. I probably wouldn't put the person that's 6'5" back here. You know, I'm 5'9", plenty of headroom for me. But really nothing to complain about in the third row. Now, as we move back up to the second row, tons of room in the second row. I've still got the seat exactly where I had it when I was in the third row. I've got probably 8 inches of leg room here. Nice comfortable armrest. It's not some skinny armrest. It's not really doing much. It's a full armrest. Also, you do have the panoramic vista roof, so plenty of sunlight all the way back in the third row. Up here, you do get heated seats in the second row, which is nice on both sides. You're going to get 2 USB, a USB-A and a USB-C, and a full 110 outlet over here, as well as automatic climate controls. So this is a 3-zone automatic climate control, so driver, passenger, and rear, and you can set the temperature and forget it back here. So yeah, very comfortable. I'm very, very happy back here. Any adult would be. You know, definitely a very large family hauler for sure. Let's take a look at the driver's seat. All right, the most important seat, the driver's seat. Up here you've got memory seats, 3-zone, so you can program you, your wife, and maybe one of your kids. You get 3-zone or 3 memory settings. It does have power folding mirrors, so when you go to the car wash or if you have a tight garage, you can fold them in with just one button. This one does have the B&O Unleashed sound system, so it's got 22 speakers in this vehicle. That's a big vehicle. It's easy to hide lots of speakers, but there are speakers everywhere you look. Pretty cool as far as that goes. Also, you do have the power seats. You got power steering wheel adjust, but all that is saved into the memory settings. On the left panel here, you have the ability to fold down the third row headrest, which is pretty cool. Power lift gate buttons over here. Of course, automatic headlights with automatic high beams, which you definitely expect in a vehicle like this. Power adjustable pedals, which again are saved into the memory settings. So lots of adjustment, lots of ability to save that adjustment. So, all right, let's hop in. All right, now that we're inside the vehicle, as I mentioned, this is kind of F-150-ish, although the Sync 4A, not so much. I mean, on the really high levels, you can get the Sync 4A on the F-150, but Again, the red stitching carries over throughout the whole vehicle. You got it on the steering wheel, you got it on the dash, on the seats. Really sharp. I'm a huge sucker for red stitching. I love it. You got a full digital dash, which is really cool. You can adjust how that looks, depending on what type of a style you're looking at. Also, it does adjust based on your driving modes as well. So you got your normal Eco. Puts a little bit of a green tint to the screen. Other than that, it looks pretty similar. Sport automatically puts it into four-wheel drive. This does have 4A, so you can drive in the four-wheel drive even on dry roads, which is nice. It does have 4 high, so if you want your traditional locked-in four-wheel drive, that's available as well, and 4 low. So if you really gotta get stuck, it can do that as well. Tow haul mode. It kind of just changes the colors. Mud and ruts, if you're going really off-roading. So not huge changes to the look of it. Some of the other Ford models really amp it up and change it quite a bit. On this one, it's kind of just changing colors for the most part. I'm not really seeing anything super different between the modes. I am a huge fan though of the full digital display. And Ford usually does some pretty cool stuff with that as far as aesthetics. So pretty cool. On the steering wheel, very classic F-150 steering wheel. You've got your dynamic cruise control, so it has the ability to maintain a gap for the car in front of you, as well as actively steer you in your lane. It's not full automation. It will make you keep your hands on the steering wheel, and if it doesn't detect some sort of a movement from you on the steering wheel within a certain period of time, it will yell at you and tell you to put your hands on the steering wheel. I've got that on my truck. I'm a huge fan of it. Not everybody. You can deactivate it if you don't like it. You have your audio controls with your voice command, as well as the joystick for the screen behind the steering wheel, and then a few radio controls, and of course your Bluetooth pickup and hang up. This one does have your automatic windshield wipers, so you can adjust, to have those come on a certain amount depending on what your setting is as far as how wet the windshield needs to be for them to come on. This one does have the integrated trailer brake controller, which is pretty cool. As I mentioned, the Sync 4A, I'm not going to go really in depth on the Sync 4A because there are lots of videos out there that go through it in depth, and that's not really what I'm doing here. But you do have the Sync 4A, which means when you put it in reverse, it has the bird's eye down here as well as your backup camera up top. It does utilize different parts of the screen for different functions. The bottom is primarily climate controls. You've got your cards, which is kind of like your history of things that you've used on the radio. So if you want to go back to them quickly, you can easily flip through those. It does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so no need to plug in to use those features. And they are integrated very nicely in the Sync 4 system, no matter what vehicle you're looking at. So really cool there. Let's see what kind of apps they've got on the Expedition. So in here you've got, of course, your standard radio, phone, navigation. The only specialty app on here, there's not really any games, but you do have Sketch. So if you wanted to draw on the screen, you can do that. Be sure to like my video. Again, I'm not really understanding this all that much, but it is there. I guess if you wanted to jot down a note really quickly on your radio, you can do that. There's some games. Tiles, blocks, lane change, jigsaw puzzles. So if you're bored sitting there waiting for someone to get out of a store, you've got plenty of games you can play to keep yourself busy. Kind of a weird quirk of the Sync 4A. Auto start, stop, off, and a couple of your hazards and things, a couple buttons down here. Down below, nicely and neatly covered up if you don't need them. You do have wireless charging. You got USB A and C in here, as well as a couple of cup holders. This does have parking sensors, so you got your off button there, downhill assist control, and then the full-size F-150 center console. Over here you do have the upper and lower glove boxes. Can't close it by pushing the button, you have to pull it down. 12 volt here, so no 110 up front like you get in the trucks. Also, if you look, and I'll put a nice close-up on the video of the texture that's on a lot of your interior panels. The lower ones here, your dash, like what would normally be wood grain on like a Limited. A very strange texture. I don't even know how to explain it. I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it. But I actually like it. I mean, it's different. Don't know how to explain it, but it is nice. So there you have it. The 2023 Ford Expedition Limited Stealth Performance Edition. A pretty cool people hauler on the day where minivans are a stigmatized vehicle. This is the modern minivan. Plenty of room for adults all the way back to the third row. Plenty of room for kids, and really looks sharp, and it'll get you there quickly with the Performance Edition. You're really not sacrificing anything with this really nice vehicle. This one is still available here at Burdick Ford. I will put in the notes when it is sold, so keep an eye on that if you are interested. MSRP on this vehicle is $83,380, and at Burdick Ford we do not charge over sticker. We are not one of those dealerships, so if you're interested, let me know. Please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. I'm trying to build it to hopefully get to the point where maybe someday they pay me to do this. Also, I do have a Facebook page, James at Burdick Ford. Feel free to follow me there. Until next time, see you later.